The Bucs host the Patriots in the third Wembley game, a game you can only watch live here on Sky Sports 2 at 4:30 p.m. Now tonight we have Mike Holmgren with us, undoubtedly a Hall of Famer. So let's hear from Bill Belichick, another future Hall of Fame coach who will lead the Patriots out under the Wembley arch. Neil Reynolds is the man with the mic.
There is no doubt Bill Belichick is a coaching legend. He's won 3 Super Bowls with New England, but more than that, he's won the admiration of the gridiron world for making the Patriots consistent winners despite losing key personnel to injuries or free agency. Notoriously wary of the media, it's very rare he does one-on-one interviews, so I was one of the very lucky few. Coach, maybe you could tell us to begin with what it means to have Tom Brady back at the helm of this team.
Well, it's good to have Tom back. He's done a lot for this organization and our football team, and it's good to see him out there. There were several players besides him that didn't play last year, so it's good to have all of them back. But Tom's he's worked awfully hard to come back on the field.
You're a keen football historian and obviously know a lot about the history of the game. Where do you rank Tom Brady? Would you place him among the very best that have ever played this game?
Well, he's certainly a very good player. I think the time to do that really is when his career is over and compare it to others who completed their careers. Let's see how much more he does.
What about what he's done so far for your team?
Well, he's done a lot. Yeah, he means an awful lot to us.
How do you feel you guys have coped with the changes? Every season there's change in the NFL in an off-season. Scott Pioli and Josh McDaniels are no longer here. How do you feel you've coped with that? I mean, it's happened before, isn't it?
Right. Yeah, we've pretty much dealt with it every year. There's always new players, new coaches, people in the scouting department and so forth. So it's just something that I think we've gone accustomed to. There's change in your team every year, and you have to adapt to it. Looking
at your defense, you seem to be trying to get younger on that side of the ball. Is that how you would see it? And how do you feel that unit is going to perform in 2009?
Well, I think over the last couple of years we've tried to get younger and faster, try to increase our team speed, and I think that we've taken steps to do that. We still have some experienced guys, and it's a good blend of youth and experience, and young players that can learn from some of our veteran players that are on that unit as well. So I think it's a pretty good complement of guys.
Are those experienced guys still very useful because you've lost some leadership in Rodney Harrison, Mike Vrabel? Are those defensive leaders still there, and is that vital?
Well, yeah, sure. I think there are people like Adalius Thomas and Ty Warren and Vince Wilfork and guys like that. Even some of our younger players like Brandon Merriweather, or players that were with other teams last year like Lee Bodden and Sean Springs in the secondary. In the end, it's a good mix of youth and veteran experience.
One of your players said the other day to me that you don't look at birth certificates, you look at whether a guy can play football. Let's look at your offense with Fred Taylor coming in, Joey Galloway. You're not put off by a guy who's got miles on the clock, are you?
Yeah, well, this game's about production, and that's it. Young or old or somewhere in between. It really comes down to how productive a person is for his team, and the guys that we have here, we feel like productive people, players, coaches, whatever they happen to be, and if that's the case, then we can use them.
What about Fred and Joey this year? Where do you see them fitting into this offense?
Well, I think both players, have had great careers, but we feel like still have a lot that they can contribute to us. They've been very productive players in different systems, and I think they both bring a lot of skills. Joey's an excellent deep route runner, good after the catch, is good on intermediate routes. He's got good explosiveness and good quickness, and Fred has power, speed, and quickness, and a lot of experience and good hands in the passing game. So he's a multi-dimensional player at that position as well.
When you look at a player, I get the impression from the outside, it's not just about how strong and how fast he is. Is it about what they do on that field on Sundays?
Yeah, well, ultimately, that's what we get judged by is how we perform on Sundays. So, you want players that can be productive in that situation, and sometimes their roles vary from game to game or from season to season. But, in the end, if they can contribute to the team, then they have a lot of value for us.
Yeah, there we go. Bill Belichick telling us absolutely nothing once again. But look,
we're going to head to week 7 as we keep on reminding you the mighty Patriots take on the Bucs at Wembley in a match you can only see here on Sky Sports. Patriots superstar Tom Brady was in fine form when we saw him last Sunday against Baltimore. But as Nick will now explain, the Wembley game can only enhance the appeal of Brady and his Patriots.
It's tough to compare the Premier League to the NFL, but if any franchise is the Manchester United of the NFL, it's New England. Winners of 3 of the 4 Super Bowls they contested since 2001, they're undoubtedly the most successful team of the decade, and they're on their way to the scene of many a United triumph, Wembley.
Very excited. I've actually visited a few times.
It's business first. Maybe I get a chance to go later for pleasure, but it's business first.
I'm just excited to be a part of it.
All the players are excited. I'm certainly excited. Comes at a good time in the year for us to be able to make the trip over there. So I like the fact that it's an away game for us and a home game for Tampa.
Just like United, the Patriots are coached by a man who seems to be head and shoulders above all others in his field. Although, let's be honest, Fergie has much better dress sense.
Great fans over there. I visited the country a couple times and had a lot of great memories. So, we're excited about the trip and looking forward to, a tough game against Tampa.
It's no longer unusual to see an unpolished young athlete develop into a global icon, especially when coupled with a showbiz equal. We saw it with Posh and David Beckham. Now Brady and his supermodel wife Giselle will grace our shores. But Tom doesn't see the parallels between his and Beck's lifestyle.
Well, not quite the same lifestyle, but he's a great player, and I've had a chance, since him being part of the MLS to watch him on occasion, and he's a great player. He's brought a lot of excitement to soccer in the United States. So hopefully the Patriots have the same effect over there in England.
Media demand for Brady is insatiable. The club's PR department works on overdrive.
We think that the Patriots carry a strong brand, both regionally, nationally, and internationally. And Robert Kraft has been very out front in trying to build that international brand. I think that what we have in Tom Brady is very special. After Brady was injured and out last year, and the interest and anticipation and expectation grew, and he wasn't available on a regular basis to talk to media or fans, we hit a level that I wasn't fully prepared for when 96 Media showed up to cover an off-season practice. Tom, he's so gracious and so accommodating with people individually. He won't say no directly. He'll be very gracious in respectfully declining a request, but we've now termed it when people ask for him and I put in the request, I try to make sure he knows all the requests, but we very graciously respond by saying that Tom Brady's going to do what Tom Brady does best. He's going to pass.
Perhaps Beckham is a bigger icon because soccer is a more global sport. But when Brady steps onto that Wembley turf live only here on Sky Sports, that image and demand for that image can only grow as the NFL moves globally in so many facets.
Tom Brady, you talking about global superstars, Nick, he has to be the biggest named of players that we have come over here with those. I guess will be the third NFL game being played here.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest names since back in the 80s when we had those American Bowls in the fridge, and Montana and Walter Payton and people like that were coming over. Yeah, and he is, but it's just a shame, as we saw there, that nobody's going to get to talk to him because they wrap him in cotton wool. But he's the big name. He is an icon, and it'll be great to have him on this side of the Atlantic.
Okay, well, we'll see.